Hi, I'm Anna Olsen, and I am an intuitive and medium psychic reader, and my website is annaolsenintuitive.com. That's ANNAOLSEN, intuitive.com. You can reach me there and get some info on my bio there. I am here tonight wanting to do a reading on viewers. So the way that this works and the way that I like to do it is I will do a basic card draw, and then I will come to whatever will come to me, I will talk about. So anything that comes to mind with that card, it can also be called a universal reading. I'll go over that, whatever I get. And it is the coolest thing because it is geared exactly for the people who will be viewing. And if you're one of those people, I would love to hear about how the reading applied to you and how it touched you and your heart and your life and where it came up, what came up for you. I've done this a couple of other times, and I am amazed at how many people tell me that the message was for them, or it touched something for them and they were able to really, really align with it. So first thing I'm going to do is I love to cleanse and protect. And that means basically I just ask the angels, and I tune into Christ consciousness, and I will pick an angel card to begin the reading. And the first one that I'm getting is a guardian angel. It's Be Brave. And this is a beautiful Doreen Virtue deck, angel deck. It's about being brave and really just depending upon or trusting your guardian angel. It's a guardian angel card, which will usually talk about how either you can guard someone else or someone needs to be guarding you, or it's literally your guardian angel. We have a woman or a girl with angel wings, and she's on basically a black panther. This could also pass as another big cat. It's basically just whatever cat you want it to be because it has a little of everything. And I've been really, really aligned with the jaguar energy lately. So jaguars are very, very, very protective, and they're one of the best ways to do visualization for protection, where they circle you and protect you completely. So again, this is Be Brave, and it's the guardian angel. And here's the picture. So I just want to make sure everybody can see exactly what this is. So to begin the reading, the Be Brave card is telling me a couple of things. First of all, there's a full moon in the background. We are experiencing a full moon right now. We are also experiencing the first equinox and full moon period for many, many years. I think the next one is 2044. And there's this beautiful big full moon in the background among the clouds, and it's nighttime. So what I'm getting from that is here we are in the full moon, and it's time to illuminate the things that are really calling to us and that are in our shadow self. And it's nighttime here, and she's with this dark cat. She's an angel with this dark cat. I see her falling into her shadow self, getting in touch with that shadow self, meeting our needs, figuring out what goals we would like to set for ourselves and for our families, for those that we love, for our careers, for our income, and to really delve into what it is we've been ignoring and what parts of ourselves we have not been really paying attention to. This is the beautiful full moon illuminating what we plan a new moon and goals that we may have set previously. It's representing a lot of angel, Christ consciousness work where we get to look at the perfection of Christ and compare ourselves and our shadow self to what it is that he sees in our potential and how we can be more the way that Christ has taught. So this is a very, very important card for shadow work. And this is a time with this Mercury in retrograde. And I'm going to talk about the Mercury in retrograde because it is very, very, it really does affect us. It's a big part of it's a very trying time. The Mercury in retrograde tends to bring up old stuff. It affects our communication. Right now it's affecting our relationships. Me personally, I'm seeing old stuff getting uprooted during this Mercury in retrograde. And we have to be very careful to communicate lovingly, carefully, and methodically with those that we love to increase our relationship quality with them. And at the same time, when we are working on that energy and those connections in that relationship, we also get to deal with all that emotional stuff that comes up. So I've been, I worked with a couple of people today, and I had a really great experience. The first I did a reading for, and they were really, really working on their deeper stuff. We had to bring some stuff up that was hidden, masked, ignored. And we brought all that stuff up, and she said it felt really great to talk about it. So she didn't have to say a word. It was wonderful because during a reading, you don't need to go into all of your, secrets and feelings and talk so much about all this stuff. Basically, it just comes right up in the reading, and there it is. And we talk about it, and we get it out of the way, and then it's up. It's in the electromagnetic field. That old energy is in the electromagnetic field, and then we work with it. So that was a great opportunity. One other thing that came up in a reading today that I really wanted to tell everyone about is that when we were doing the medical aspect of the reading, it came up in the reading that there is going to be a groundbreaking new technology type treatment for diabetes and some complications that certain types of diabetes would cause. So it was going to be in this person's lifetime. And I really wanted to bring that up because that brings some hope to a lot of viewers. And I just wanted to put that out there that came up for me. And I was very excited about it because I myself know a few people with diabetes. And when I saw this technological breakthrough, I want to say it's a medication or something that would go in the blood and would affect the pancreas and would to give all of the major organs a break so that they didn't have to work as hard and that it would counteract the negative effects of diabetes. And I would say that's probably going to be coming up in the next it sounds like a long time, but 20 years. That is a very promising thing for people who are suffering from this disease and who on a daily basis wonder what kind of complications might it cause in the future. And these are the people that need to know that, in that amount of time, there's going to be a new technological breakthrough. So I was excited about that. I'm also excited about one of my students. We were so excited about the work that we did developing her intuitive abilities. And we did a few exercises where she was so blown away at what she could do with her intuitive abilities. We were both giddy. And this has been the second student that I've had this week who has told me about how excited they are about using their newfound abilities. It's not even as newfound, it's just that they're zeroing in on how to practice these wonderful extra senses that we have, that we all have as human beings inherently, and that we're not taught in school because they can't be anatomically dissected. We know exactly how the ear, the eyes, the nose, the taste buds, the nerves in the hand. We all know how these work anatomically and on a physiological level. So it makes sense to people. Those are the ones they teach in school. The rest, there's a total of 12. The rest of the abilities, the rest of the senses that our spirits and our bodies have scientifically have yet to be put in the mainstream educational system, but have been proven repeatedly in many, many universities or different types of testings and scientific trials. So that's all promising too. I'm so excited about my students. I'm so excited about this particular student, and I wanted to just tell her I'm extremely proud of her. And I want to really express how important it is for us to work on our intuitive abilities and to realize the power that we have in our own surroundings. That yes, we need our help from our angels and guides, and they're there to help us to develop our own skill set so that we can help ourselves. And that's the goal. They're there to teach and guide us into this amazing place where we're helping ourselves and we're practicing our own power and abilities in our own lives, not only for law of attraction and, like, let's say making a vision board or setting intentions, but also for using our intuition the way we use our other senses so that they become second nature, they become automatic. We all, could really benefit from this universal consciousness that becomes more positive and lucrative and useful. We talk about sourcing a parking spot and raising our awareness above the parking lot to see where that parking spot is, just as a real casual way to explore what that looks like and how it works, how to trust it, and trial and error, just keep doing it again. Don't let it distract you from driving. But just to start to really delve into what are those extra senses that we have and how can we use them for the highest and greater good. Can you imagine if everybody in a parking lot was using this universal consciousness of a skill to find a parking spot? Okay, that would make a very harmonious parking lot, especially a busy one. We all know how frustrating traffic is. We all know how frustrating it is when people are just wandering around aimlessly and they don't know what the heck is going on. So, and they're trying to find one and they're in a hurry and on and on. So this is just one small scale example on the big picture of how using our intuition, our abilities, our extrasensory abilities can really benefit us and those around us, and to complete and really just add to the universal consciousness and the way things work. So I'm going to pull some more cards. I'm going to do, let's see, three more of the angel cards. And then I'm going to pull some regular tarot cards. Especially to dispel any myths about how tarot may not be spiritually healthy for some folks. And that's something I'd like to go over, that anything that we delve into can be negative depending upon the practitioner and depending upon where their heart is at and where they are coming from and how they what their intention is. So that's something that I really want to go over, that it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. We can break out just about any divination tool. And if we have a practitioner with the wrong intention, it's going to come out with the wrong result. So good trees do not bear bad fruit, and bad trees do not bear good fruit. That's something to remember. That includes the energy and the vibe you get from somebody. And from a reading, pay close attention and use your own discernment and your own compass to see how you feel. The first one that I got out of the angel cards was healthful eating. This is really kind of cute. It says Saint Raphael, the Archangel, and healthful eating is important all the way around. I would like to go over exactly how this affects us individually, spiritually, how we can really take care of our bodies, because our bodies are connected to our spirits. If we're putting junk food, unnecessary starchy carbs in our bodies are going to start to operate at a lower frequency. This is going to be your lower, denser frequency, which is not conducive to a good intuition. It's not going to make you feel good. It's really going to affect the spirit as well. And Saint Raphael does help us with this. That's the angel to call on or to think about or to study when you are dealing with really wanting to get healthier, especially in this day and age where everything is rushed, everything is fast food. And healthful eating will really help every single aspect, including depression. If you've ever looked at the basic science behind healthful eating and how it lifts the mood, lifts the frequency, I personally prefer, no alcohol. That is also a very low vibrational substance to put in the body. If you do drink, it would be wise, I believe, to do it very, very sparsely, just not to do it very often, and to do it in very, very serious moderation, because a lot of I don't have any firsthand experience with this, but a lot of the intuitives that I've learned with and who have taught me have explained that alcohol can open up parts of the aura and the crown chakra, which allow entities to attach to people. And that's not something I think that we usually want to delve into or deal with. I would say most people would really want to stay away from that. And and in the same note, I'd really like to give a huge congratulations to anybody who has struggled with alcoholism or who has really nipped that in the bud and quit that, or any other substance. My hat's off to you. That's amazing. Not everybody has had the same opportunities, that I have with being raised without alcohol, like large amounts of alcohol or drugs or whatnot. And I really, really just congratulate anybody who has dealt with that and come out of it successfully. The next angel card that I have here, this is actually a saint card, Saint Mother Teresa. She's an activist. And this is one of my favorite humans of all time. She is Mother Teresa. She did a lot of work for all of the orphans in India, and she raised, a lot of people don't know, millions of dollars for the orphans, for different organizations, and she donated absolutely all of it and stayed a nun. And she was so humble that whenever I've heard her speak, she would oftentimes say, and this is what I really look up to her for, she's like, I'm just not even worthy to be speaking today. She was so humble that her words were, I'm here, but who am I really? I'm nobody better than anyone else here. And that's the attitude that I think, if everyone adopted that attitude and were to really think of themselves the same as everyone else, no better, no worse, we would be able to work together much better. There wouldn't be so much ego. There wouldn't be so much the low self-worth and the low self-confidence. We all have our strengths and we all have all of our weaknesses, and we need to support each other in our weaknesses and lift each other up if they have a weakness where we have a strength, and vice versa with everyone else. This is Speak Your Truth, Saint Bernadette. These have a lot of saints and angels. I love how this is sort of a little Catholicism. It's a little bit of your mainstream Christian. It's a little bit of, angel. It's a little bit of everything. So we have Speak Your Truth, and it is an angel there with kind of a halo, Saint Bernadette. And if you notice the roses, I'm going to gaze into this card a little bit, and I'm going to see what the intention is that's coming through. So speaking your truth is one of the most important things that we can exercise in this lifetime. It can be very daunting to speak your truth. I have learned to do it more in the past few years than ever in my life. I grew up being able to speak my truth to one parent and not being able to say anything to the other. So I definitely know both sides of this coin. And these roses are really standing out to me in this card. She has a halo, it's basically an aura. Halos are auras. And she has these roses that are on either side of her. Some are in the foreground and some of them are in the background. So I am seeing the rock formation behind her as representing the tomb where Jesus lay before his resurrection. And I really just want to reiterate that when I see a card and I'm describing what's in it, I'm describing what's coming up for my intuition for that card for that time only. It could be different in someone else's reading or at a different time. So keeping that in mind, I love how it says speak your truth. I also am getting from this card that it is time that we speak our truth for whatever religious beliefs that we have. If you are a Christian, it's okay to say, what you believe religiously to the moms in your play date. It's okay to, bring it up to strangers at the grocery store. It's okay. They can handle it. You're not going to offend anybody just because of your belief system. It's good that we pass this around. It's good that it's part of our normal life and not just at church or when we're home alone and we're praying with our families. This is something that I believe needs to be out in the public. It needs to be around everyone. And what we will find if we were to really practice in speaking our truth lovingly in public, and this isn't a sort of, look at me, I'm right, I experienced this, I have this testament of this, therefore you're wrong, and I'm going to boss you around and I'm going to shame you. That is not what we're talking about here. That's more along the lines of narcissism and ego. We're looking more at lovingly speaking what your beliefs are and really, really proclaiming that as your truth and bouncing that off of others. If it triggers them and it's a negative effect, they get to go home and deal with that and move that energy through them and heal it. If it has a positive effect, you just enlightened someone else and you made a connection with another human being. It's okay to really speak your truth and what you believe, no matter how that looks. If your own personal belief is Buddhism, atheism, what have you, are you pagan? Are you, whatever it is that you believe, it is very important that others hear about it, especially on, now that we have social media, we have all these platforms where we can more than ever before express our beliefs and express exactly what our experience as a human being is, because they're all different and everyone can benefit from our strengths and everybody has weaknesses. So in the same breath that we're exclaiming, what we believe and how we feel and what we've experienced, we could also be inviting someone else to give us a conversation about their beliefs. So that's important. Again, universal consciousness, we're talking about the parking lot. That's crazy when none of us know where we're going. If we were to use our higher selves, and if we were to use our spirituality to really conduct our lives on a daily basis, not just in the comfort of our own home, but out where we are around others, it raises that vibe, even in a restaurant. And I would give viewers homework where you go to a restaurant and you're going to ground yourself, meaning you feel this amazing divine energy coming through the crown chakra, down through the heart chakra, all the way down the spine, the nervous system, into the ground. You're going to feel kind of a tingling, kind of like a passageway of energy going all the way down your body, through the bottoms of your feet into the earth, comes back up around, out of your heart chakra. You're just going to beam this beautiful divine light in every direction, and it's going to be that connection between heaven and earth through you as a divine way to conduct that energy. And then it goes back up through the crown chakra and it connects to the divine again. And you're going to really feel an immense sense of peace, and see what happens to the people around you. See if they can feel it. Test it out. See what it does. I've done this quite a few times, and I think you would be really pleasantly surprised as to what happens, especially if there's a screaming child or there's a lot of noise or whatever. It's a really great practice to do this in public, where we're going to affect those around us, not just for our benefit, but for theirs as well. And it will have the butterfly effect, and it will have that ripple effect. These are things that one person can do to make a big difference. So now we're going into the tarot, and I have this beautifully illustrated card of a butterfly. And it's just basically kind of, over these, I guess you could say, sticks, maybe out in nature. And the butterfly has not only come out of its chrysalis, but it's risen above those dark places. It changed from that caterpillar that ate all that green leaf on those sticks, and it's come out of its chrysalis now. On the card, we also have the number 6, and the number 6 really is a concentrated number, which reminds us to look at what we're doing and to really think about our path, and to just think and rethink where we are and what we're doing. So when we have a butterfly that's come up out of the dark, it's risen above, basically. I see this again as this equinox full moon. I see this at just the perfect time, that when we're in our stuff, our junk, our whatever you want to call it, the crud, always remember it's going to transform you, and you're going to rise above and out of it. And that's the beauty of it. We would not be able to know how good the good times are if we did not have the bad to compare it to. This is the contrast I'm seeing in this card. And that's important to realize when we're in those really difficult times of our lives. And, I've spoken to people who have experienced some of the worst things I've ever heard, and it's changed them. It's deepened their empathy. It has increased their spirituality and their enlightenment so much. And they become more peaceful. They become more grounded. They become more loving, because it's changed them in a way. It's changed every cell in their bodies. So next we have a crescent moon on a tarot card. And we have this beautiful moon with 9 cups. This is the number 9 at the top in Roman numerals. And 9 I'm getting is basically what we're going to be looking at the 9 as because it's not an even number, it's an odd number. We're going to be looking at how things are kind of thrown off right now. There's 9 cups on the card, and it's saying that that our cups are full, but it's imbalanced right now. We're going to have a balance coming up. And I really believe that once the 28th of this month comes, 28th of March, 2019, and goes, that we will be able to once again have things with an equilibrium and a balance. And that's the end of the reading with these cards tonight. And I invite you to come to my website. I would love to actually do these amazing teachings for intuition and your extrasensory abilities one-on-one. I can do it over the phone, video. I can do it in person. I can also do a reading for you. I specialize in life coaching and moving your energy up and out for all of those things in your life that you need to improve. So I'm going to end tonight. Please see me again next Thursday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time here on Insights into Consciousness. I'm your host, Anna Olsen, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much.